Hello, my name is Rich Howard, owner of Architectural Builders Supply. This video is to bring you a closer look at the Zero. This is their part number 25A. This is an aluminum interlocking, it's a hook strip is what it is. An L angle like this is used when you are using an interlocking type of weather stripping. This is namely used with an interlocking threshold. And there are different hook strips. If you use your imagination, you can see why we would call this an L angle. Okay. There's also a J hook. If you use your imagination, you can see why we'd call it a J hook. The L style mounts to the face of the door. Okay. The J hook would mount underneath the door. So what happens here is you mount this on the inside face or the pull side face of the door, and then the lip of the, or the tongue of the interlocking threshold would mate right here, giving you that seal. So people will use an L angle interlocking hook strip, maybe because they don't want to take the door down, or maybe that's the way that the door was installed originally with that type of hook strip. The J hook underneath the door is far more common, but people will order it because that's what they're replacing, or you've explained the J hook and they, well, I don't want to take the door down, or I don't want to take the door down and then have to cut it or trim it to accommodate the J hook. So an L angle is very typical for that sort of exact reason. Let's take some basic dimensional properties. Overall height, looks like it's about 1 inch. Overall thickness looks like it's about 5/16. The thickness of the aluminum extrusion itself, 0.059. So it's 59 thousandths of an inch thick. Okay. Has holes here, as you can see. Those go down. It's going to include fasteners and a complementary finish. Now let's switch to the screen view and let's take a closer look at the supporting information and better illustrate exactly where this is used. If you are enjoying this video, please click thumbs up or like, and also please consider subscribing to our channel. Let's move on to the rest of the video. Here is the item that we are looking at. This is listed in the site in lots of different lengths, and this is exactly where you're going to see an L angle used. Exactly. So let's illustrate that a little bit further. You have a threshold. This is just representative of what a typical aluminum interlock would look like. Okay, your door, a standard installation would be a J hook. Okay, just like that. That's an awful J, but that's what it is. You would nail it here. Okay, now the application that we're somewhat looking at here for an L angle is obviously more like this. I'm sorry, I've done that wrong. Okay, and it's attached this way. So that would be another way to do it. Another way with a J hook would be like this. And what I'm illustrating here is the mortising of the bottom of the door here. Would be another way that you would end up seeing that done. So here's your L angle style. There you go. I think it's also got a lot to do with the positioning of the door over the threshold as well. What I mean to say is, if you have an application like this, you're not going to be able to make an L angle work very well for you. So you're going to need to, maybe notch that low, well, you wouldn't want to really notch it because if you've got a fixed height. So depending on what exactly you're doing, meaning what your constraints are, what you're limited to, you might be forced into a J hook or you might be forced into an L hook. So there's a mounting drawing here and a tech sheet. Let's look at those together. Not much to say about this. Measure, cut the size, and attach is the moral of that story. The tech sheet, just going to be a duplicate of what we've already looked at, does give us those dimensional properties. We were a bit shy on 3/8, but roughly 0.62. There's also the product brochure that's here as well. And that's pretty handy because it will show you that J-hook in a different application here. But really what we're drawing our attention to is what's happening here. You can see this transparent silhouette that's here where they've notched the bottom of the door with a J-hook. And then again our L-hook application. Either works. The J-hook is a lot more common. I'm not sure why. I think it's just the J-hook is how they were originally designed. The L-hook is easier to install potentially, but it's also far more conspicuous. This is quite inconspicuous. You don't see it at all. And you do have the potential for notching that sort of application where you just simply don't here. Okay. Pretty handy. Now, there is this item, the 25A. That's listed in the site in lots of different lengths. Everything from 2 foot to 8 foot lengths. It's available in longer lengths. Really available in any length that you need. The cost to ship is directly related to the length of the item that you're ordering. So be mindful as you get past 3 foot. If this is the cost to ship, you get past 3 foot and that cost really starts to go like that. If 3 foot is basically about here, okay? And this being, 14 feet. This being 10 foot. This being 8 foot, that kind of thing. So you want to keep the length to what you believe you're going to require. If you have need for a custom length, by all means let us know by ordering the next longest piece or pieces and indicate in the comment field the net length that you'd like for us to make the material up at, and we'll be happy to supply it that way. It will work out better for you in the sense that at least it'll be cut to length and that the holes will be drilled at the proper dimension from each end. And we do have some images of the item here which we can share. There's your end view. That's what you'd see from the front, the back side, and then the typical fasteners that are included. There is a link below this video here to the manufacturer's page. From there, you can pull up not only all of the Zero products that we sell by means of this horizontal navigation here, but also a link to the manufacturer's website, as well as a link to the full product catalog. The full product catalog is certainly handy as it will allow you to review all of the Zero products available, in a comprehensive single document. The important thing to know about Zero is if you're looking for STC rated material, Zero is a leader when it comes to STC ratings on gasketing for use in doors. That's just simply the bottom line. Other people do it. Other people do it very well, but the information in the Zero catalog will prove to be quite comprehensive, and I would submit would be a tremendous resource when you were trying to learn about this and specify the proper products. That's that. Now what goes along with it, however, to a certain degree, is the cam lift hinge. And the cam lift hinge, as shown here, basically elevates the door as you go from 0 to 90 or beyond in the opening cycle. Conversely, when the door goes to close, the weight of the door itself will bring that door down, and the weight of the door itself will be leveraged to create a seal because of the way that this is prepared. Okay, so a cam lift hinge will very often go with STC rated gasketing, and I have seen cam lift hinges used on the back of house doors in Manhattan in the theater district because that stuff is really gasketed for STC transmission, sound transmission control. That'd be a perfect example of where you would need to pull out all the stops and even use STC type hinges. Cross sections of STC material is here for your review. Very handy. Another thing I would mention is if you're looking for automatic door bottoms, I would argue the point that you'll get the highest quality and caliber from Zero. They are not going to be the least expensive nor the most petite, but they will be the most robust, most comprehensive offering of automatic door bottoms. Let's wrap up this video on camera. In conclusion, a rather typical piece of equipment. You don't sell L-angle hook strips very often, but enough that you're certainly aware of what they are. I would recommend reviewing the Zero catalog, as you're going to bump into their name sooner or later if you ever do any research on high-quality gasketing. They're under the Allegiant umbrella, and Zero's sister products would be extremely well-known names like Schlage, LCN, and Von Duprin, and others. Falcon, which had Monarch and Doromatic underneath it, Glenn Johnson, Ives, and many others. Okay. Any questions on the 25A L-style hook strip or any other Zero product, please feel free to reach out to us. And thank you. Again, thank you for watching, and if you've enjoyed this video, please click thumbs up, please subscribe, and maybe even send the video to someone that you know. Thank you.